Hey, it's Mr. Keys, and today we're going to discuss how I will be writing chord progressions through notation. Notation is just a way of saying how I will take symbols like chords and time signatures and write them in such a way so that you understand what chords are being played, when they're being played, and how long they're being played. Let's take a look at our first progression. Okay, so we have the chords A minor, F major, G major, and C major. The first thing that we do is we're going to write the time signature. Now, in pop music, or in many forms of music, 4/4 is the most common. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some bar lines. Now at the end of our chord progression, I'm going to write the double bar line, which indicates the end. We have 4 bars here. This first space here represents bar 1, this represents bar 2, this represents bar 3, and this represents bar 4. The next thing to do is to write the chords. So I start with A minor, and it fills up the entire first bar because it's 4 beats long. I'm also going to show you how long it is by indicating some sort of note value. In this case, this is a whole note, and it's 4 beats. I can also indicate how long it is by putting 4 underneath the note, just in case you don't remember. The next chord is F major. It also takes up the entire bar. It gets a whole note as well, 4 beats. And then we have G major. It takes up the whole bar. And we have C major, and it takes up the entire bar as well. All right, so that's our first progression. Let's take a look at a second progression. All right, so we have our second progression here, and we're going to start by doing the same thing, writing out our time signature, 4/4, and then writing out bar lines. And we finish with the double bar line because this is a 4-bar progression again. And this time, I'm going to write the chords using functional notation, which is the number system. So our first chord is A minor, which is going to be 6. Our next chord is going to be 4, which is F major. And notice this time, our chords are 2 beats each, and we can see that up here. This is 2 beats, and this is 2 beats. So that means we use different notes this time. We use half notes. Half notes are 2 beats each. Our next chord is the 5 chord, and it takes up the entire bar. It's 4 beats long. Then we have A minor again, or 6, D minor, which is 2, and these are going to get 2 beats each. And then in our last bar, we have E minor, which is 3, and it gets an entire bar to itself, so it's 4 beats long. Okay, let's go through the progression and I'll show you how the changes happen. So here we go. 6, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3. Okay, so every time I bounce the mouse or the pen up and down, that's indicating a beat. So let's go through that one more time. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm counting beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see how that lines up with this region up here. Let's go to one last chord progression. Okay, let's take a look at this chord progression. It's definitely a lot more complicated. I'm going to spread things out a little bit more this time just because we have more chords to write. Here's our double bar line. So the first chord we have is C major, then G major, then A minor. Now, these first 2 chords are 1 beat, and that's indicated by these quarter notes here, which are 1 beat long. And then our last chord in this bar is 2 beats, which is indicated by a half note. In our next bar, we have the chord F and then G, and they get 2 beats each. And then we have A minor, E minor, and F major, and this gets 1, this gets 1, and this gets 2. And our last bar is going to be G major, and it's 4 beats long. So let's take a listen to this progression and see how things work. Here we go. C, G, A minor, F major, G major, A minor, E minor, F major, G major, 2, 3. Let's go through it again. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we can also go through these using the numbers. So let's go through that and I'll just count out the numbers that we have for each chord. 1, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I'll use all these interchangeably. Sometimes I'll write the actual chord name, sometimes I'll write the numbers. I find that the numbers are very, very useful. So get used to both of them. And the same thing with the notes. The notation for the notes is very useful. And sometimes I'll write both or I'll write one or the other. Hopefully you learned something about notation today, and you'll be seeing a lot more of it in future videos.